Outside of Rangni, we found the first guest. His name was Wilgi. He had just joined and was running around Wynncraft. My Minecraft had crashed due to unknown reason, but I continued slaying mobs, watching him slay mobs and running around following him. He was just meleeing them. Suddenly he goes up to some machines and tries to right click them and see what happens when you open them. He kills the mob with his bit. He joined 19 hours ago, which was yesterday, which means he is probably here to stay. His total level is 10. He is exploring a few stuff, but mainly killing mobs. He's probably played other MMORPGs in the past. Another guy runs past. He joined recently too. To be precise, yesterday, 10 hours ago. His total level is 84. Suddenly I lost Wilgi, but I found him soon again killing mobs close to the mountains. My friend was angry because I lost him while searching up other play stats. Maybe spells should be more precise and direct to use than just a bit in the tutorial. That does not explain how spells can be used to kill a mob. Maybe it's too used to Minecraft. Suddenly I found him again. He was just killing mobs, but actually used a spell. He had probably seen the right thing popping up. But he doesn't seem to be using his bash spell a lot. He's not doing any quests either. He's just killing mobs. No discoveries, just killing mobs, nothing else. It's kind of sad. Maybe that's the typical MMORPG. He runs up to a fishing lake, not caring about professions. Now he's running up a waterfall doing his first exploring so far. But there are barriers at the top of the waterfall, which he doesn't know. Suddenly he gives up and goes down again. He's back to killing mobs again. I have not seen him level up after killing so many mobs. Neither is he wearing armor. Now he left. I guess his mother threw his computer out of the window. However, Wilgi will probably return. He was lost 19 hours ago. He didn't even know to get to know what quests were. I decided to check back on Wilgi 13 days after we recorded the video. His total level is now 79, but he hasn't played for 6 days. He has completed one quest, poisoning the pest, but is still not leveling any professions. He is now heading to a tutorial. We find a player called Deadwood. She looks like she is wearing a girl skin and is talking to the NPCs. She does not seem to be caring about us. Wilgi had chosen a warrior class, but we don't know what Deadwood has chosen. Looking further, it appears that she chose the warrior class. She walks ahead with the NPCs to the door. I played along in the chat pretending I was a newbie, asking what war it was, and pretending to talk to the NPCs. She seems to be doing some parkour with the trapdoors, but she's never played before on this account. Now she's talking to the old man. She's looking at us now. She seems that she's looking at the NPCs very closely. She's also checking a compass for what exists in them. I'm not the same class as her, so I could not go gather the resources with her. I had to go get my own resources. I decided to ask her if she had played this before, because she seemed quite advanced in what she was doing. She solved all puzzles. I asked Edgewood if she had played it, however, she ignored me. I started lagging and was afraid that I would be crashing again. Suddenly she left. It was too much for her. Did we make a quit? I guess her mom threw her computer out of the window. Our friend, ex-sniper from earlier, is still going strong. 13 days later, ex-sniper has not played for 13 days and only reached total level 31. Edgewood did appear later on that day, but has not been seen for 11 days. Soon we found our next player, killing Grooks. I decided to check up his stats. He had joined 2 minutes ago. All players so far have killed a Grook. Do they like killing mobs, all of them? He does not appear to be with a friend yet. Even Edgewood attacks Grooks. Warrior seems to be a popular class as everyone so far has chosen it. Suddenly he faces through the wall. Is he hacking? Suddenly it appears that I'm fly hacking for my friend. Our friend is now talking to the old man. Will he solve the first puzzle? Or not? Judging by his skin, he looks to be 12 years old. Suddenly another player appears. It was later on revealed that Sidious was Elite Coxic's friend. The reason he joined was because of his friend. He seemed to be reading the dialogue, which is not usual as everyone so far had not been doing so. It appears to be taking quite a long time. But he might just be waiting for Sidious, but he could also be confused. But he has clearly got the pickaxe so far. I asked, is anyone having troubles talking to old man to see if anyone else was having troubles? They did not respond. I guess a lot of people didn't like talking on Wynncraft. Sidious appears to be wearing a Donald Trump skin, but you cannot see that because he is wearing golden armor. He's also checking which items he has in his inventory. Suddenly, Elite Coxic appears to be waiting for nothing anymore, and appears to be heading off in a direction. But he's still reading his quest book. We're sneaking around him to get a cool cinematic view of him, holding a grass block as the mini Steve. I activated cinematic camera to take this. I mistakenly went to the bridge, forgetting that you couldn't return if I did that. Soon my friend did the same mistake. I thought he quit at first, but then I realised he was just mining and went invisible. He became invisible overnight. It might be confusing for new players that their friends are going invisible, because most of the people join with their friends. Maybe it's too hard to solve this puzzle, or maybe it's too boring. However, the builds look really cool, so that should be fine. Sergio seems to be even more confused. She has not played since the update. Edgewood did join back later, but that was on another journey. I wondered if they were wondering why we were just staring at them and waiting for them. They're still confused, finding all kinds of stuff. Suddenly he disappears, but he just went to lobby 1. Maybe he switched servers because the request was broken. My friend thought that the tutorial was too hard. However, if he knew that you were to switch servers for bugs, he might have been an old player, or his friend might have told him to do so. We did switch to server 3 because it was first in the list earlier. He now solved the first puzzle of the quest. Sidious was also here, hinting that they were friends. Thought we knew. Now I want to see how they solved the second puzzle of the quest, getting past the bridge. Most people use the tree to the north, but the NPCs hint Barbara several ways. However, I don't know any of those ways, so I was hoping that they would show me. But Sidious seemed to be an old player and might have showed his friend what to do. Because the tree was the same back in 1.17. Just looking down. Maybe he had forgotten about the tree. My friend commented, "Jump high isn't the solution." Suddenly, I realized that they solved the puzzle. Maybe his friend Sidious told him. Elite Coxic was having some troubles, but he had not left yet. He's checking his quest book again. Probably learnt that the quests are listed in there. He says, find another way across the ravine, so that might be confusing for him, and he's trying to get back over the ravine. But suddenly he goes up to the guard and talks to it, in success. He solved it. He hasn't thrown out any items yet. He follows the NPCs, sprinting, perhaps running a bit faster than them. I could not follow them into the cave, however, to the refinery. They were gone, but probably still figuring out how refining works. Maybe he refined it into the wrong thing. Maybe refined it into paper instead of wood. Suddenly he comes to a refinery. He can solve a lot of puzzles, but he was with Sidious all along. Speaking of Sidious, where's Sidious? Suddenly someone threw an item bomb. It might have been confusing for Elite Coxic. He's also gathering more trees, hinting that he threw away the wood. He has not seemed to claim the item bomb yet. He's checking his compass. I threw a spear I got from the item bomb at him. He also unlocked a unique bow, the refined bow. Elite Coxic's about to craft, but he's using the wrong crafting station. But suddenly he comes up to the weaponsmithing station and crafts the spear instantly. Looking at his hand, it appears that he had crafted a gem. My friend called him intellectual for this reason. I decided to ask the same question. How generalputte found the server. Then I asked the same question to Elite Coxic, which was when he replied that Sidious was his friend. At least he didn't ignore that question. Suddenly he looked like me, like he hadn't typed yet, or not understood the question. Then he asked if he was a bot, and I was even more sure that he was 12 years old. But I decided to say no, because I understand that if I used sarcasm, he would think that I was serious. But then my friend said he was a bot, perhaps confusing Elite Toxic. He started to walk around generalputte. He seemed a bit aggressive after that. I pretended that we were me, which had not understood this earlier, wondering how he had solved everything and why he hadn't quit yet. I decided to check on a new player because I wanted to see how new players without friends acted to the game. I found Filet Cake, who later turned out to be an aggressive guy. I don't know if he was reading the NPC's messages. He again resorts to killing animals. I don't know why everyone is killing animals in this game. Maybe they like committing homicide. All new players try to kill the animals. Maybe it's something linked with MMORPGs. Me and generalputte joked about animal abuse and that they were brutal beings. I thought he was typing, but then I realized he wasn't. Suddenly, a guy named Mr. Cubic came. I thought they were friends or something, because that might have been what he did to wait for the player. Mr. Cubic chose Assassin, First person to not choose Waru. He had just joined too. I thought Mr. Cubic would leave, but I was wrong. Flake Cake wants to kill this horse. I don't know what Flake Cake's meaning of life. Mr. Cubic man talks to the NPC, while Flake Cake is just waiting for his friend. Then Mr. Cubic checks his items in his inventory. They run around the path. For them, it appears that we are 4 people, but for us, we were just 2 people. Then I noticed that they were friends. Jokingly, generalputte said that the other guy had a short stroke. They were killing Grooks together. Grook Hunter 64. I decided to the trapdoor parkour again, thinking that I was fly hacking. They seemed to be a bit more mature than 12 years old. But this was later confirmed false. Mr. Cubic was definitely Flake Cake's friend, which I realised here. I went to duel my friend because we didn't have any weapons. They had both just joined and both were assassins. Assassin seems to be another popular class, but warrior is still the most popular. Suddenly another player appeared, New Breezer HC. However, he had a lot of armor on and wasn't to no interest. I was scared that he would give away every detail to the players, but then I hoped that he would know how to solve the quest before they did, and hurry up and not show them anything. We were now 5 people. Suddenly, they had been mining for a long time, while they only needed 2 copper. But they were probably waiting for each other. Shift, left clicking on people activates jaws, so we might have been dueling each other back. Dueling. Suddenly he ran away from Flake Cake again, but Mr. Cubic was waiting for him, so I hoped it would be all fine. Flake Cake might not have got the 2 in copper yet. Flake Cake is probably not reading the dialogue. Mr. Cubic probably is. I think they were in a voice call or something. Mr. Cake is no longer waiting for his friend Flake Cake. Maybe Flake Cake told Mr. Cubic that he could run on. I decided to go looking for other ways to pass the bridge other than the tree, because I thought this would be interesting. Mr. Cubic was following me. Flake Cake kills a pig bull, but Flake Cake solves it instantly. He has now solved this part. Maybe it's too hard to have puzzles in the first tutorial quest. I get to the other side while generalputte is following them. I refine the road now, so I don't have to do it later. Then I go to refine the weave, but I realise I couldn't. They're already looking at crafting. I don't think that they're reading dialogue at all. After a while, they seem to get into refining. I cut a tree for no reason. I'll probably level up by doing it. But I was wrong. Flake Cake suddenly turns to level 3 in mining. I go ahead and craft my weapon. Still waiting for Flake Cake and the other guy. Suddenly they solve the problem from running from the mining refinery to the crafting station. But then we run back to a wood refinery. Maybe they are reading the dialogue. Asking questions to them would just be inappropriate. They might be ignoring me as the others have. but I still try, pretending that we weren't friends. But they all ignored me. generalputte knew that he shouldn't answer the question. I guess they saw the trailer or watched Green's videos. I wonder if they know what this coal block portal is. I wonder if they know how to use it. Will they walk into it? Maybe Mr. Cubic will walk into it on accident. Maybe there should be a sign saying entrance to the cave. I don't recall the guard mentioning it in their dialogue. They both enter at the same time, hinting that they're friends. They are trying to kill a mob, which is actually an armor stand. Maybe that should be removed because it's too confusing for players. There's a guy on the tab list by the name of F2 He will be important to note down later. I was wondering why it's an opening for me, but then it opened for me. I ran to the guard. This is where they get to use the spell. Personally, it might be a bit confusing for them how to use the spell, but I hope for the best that they will know how to use the spell. However, this does not tell people that spells can kill mobs and such. I hope that they don't die here, and they did. They're having issues with the barriers. They still haven't quit. They've made a triangulate. This is the two people which we've been following for the longest. Stag 2001 joins the game. generalputte's old friend from our old video. I told him to tell him that we were recording a documentary about the new players and if he wanted to join. However, he negatively responded to that. We met another guy here by the name of Panlisic. We could not find them, but then we realized that they went into the other room. Maybe it's too confusing for players to have two rooms to enter after the tutorial. We found them at the dining table, where Mr. Cubic and Flake Cake were. Now they're trying to exit Ranganu without talking to the king. It's not going too well. Soon they realise why they have to talk to the king and run up to the king. Let's see how fast the dialogue triggers for them to see if they're reading the dialogue or not. What will they do after Ranganu? It's taking a long time for them to talk to the NPC. Maybe they don't know about skippable dialogue. Flake Cake runs out of Ranganu as fast as possible while Mr. Cubic stays there. He's taking a look at his skill points. They might think that Wynncraft is too hard, judging by the first quest, and want to quit. Mr. Cubic is looking at his friend. He's still holding his gathering pickaxe. Flake Cake runs off, and Mr. Cubic follows him. They talk to the Ranganu NPC because they think that they have to talk to every NPC they see. They still don't know about skippable dialogue. Flake Cake runs off and Mr. Cubic follows him. They explore the bank fastly. Soon Flake Cake runs off to the next place to visit, which is the bakery. He takes a look at Kill King quickly. Mr. Cubic is following him. Then they see the cook, the NPC, and try to interact with them. We still haven't found the armor shop, and they will probably buy some armor when they get there. Flake Cake goes off to the other parts of Ranganu. They are now entering an old quest area, but they are not checking their quest books. They like exploring old places and seeing whatever they can find. They also like killing NPCs. As mentioned, they love animal abuse and they love killing citizens for that reason too. They're going to be here for a long time if you want to kill that raggedy NPC, because they have regeneration. They're not using spells yet again, but took down 51 damage of NPC. They soon find their combat dummies, but soon leave them. They use spells now. Suddenly I lost Flake Cake, but I soon found him again. General Putte was behind me, but we had now lost Mr. Cubic. Someone is checking the quest book. Flake Cake might be doing a quest soon. They can do Ensign's brother and poisoning the pest. Flake Cake checks for directions to the quest in his quest book, and we follow him. He seems to be talking to us. Maybe he's annoyed by our presence. He tries to attack General Putte. He likes killing stuff, as mentioned. His friend has still not left, but he has left him. We follow Flake Cake for a longer time. If he doesn't leave Rangni soon, he might quit. He's just standing still. Maybe there should be a bit of terrain between the king and Rangni. Rangni is too big for new players. As a new player myself, I always wanted to go to the big cities. I remember looking at the map and seeing Leviga when I was low level, and I really wanted to go there, so I went there with my friend once. But however, I didn't come with my Sea Skipper book. Now we came to a place in Rangni I've never been at before, and it's neat. He's doing professions too. Any new players only gatherings professions, and sometimes crafting profession too, but it's rarely that they do every profession. Maybe it should be added to the tutorial that there are more professions than just woodworking or weaponsmithing. Flake Cake tries attacking me and General Putte again. Maybe he thinks this is a PvP server. I try dueling him. We follow him again. I showed him duels and hoped he would accept, so he could PvP. General Putte was hiding behind the bushes, and Flake Cake tried killing him again. He's really a violent type. I told him that you have to type /duel, but then I changed my mind, because I didn't want to teach the new players anything and pretend that I was a person knowing a lot of stuff. Suddenly I lost him while typing that. I asked my friend, General Putte, where he went. And soon I found them again. He was still not with his friend Mr. Cubic. They went off in separate directions. He's checking his quest book again. Is he about to leave Rangni now? We're all excited for his departure. He might end up staying. However, 13 days later, he has not been online for a long time and has not leveled up a lot. Now he's talking to Ensign. He might be about to do the quest. Suddenly, he looks at General Putte and starts insulting him for his skin and his presence and him following him. This is what I said. General Homer, can you please leave me alone? I thought that was really funny and laughed. General acted like the last person who asked us if we were a bot, and he said he was a bot. I backed up to not disturb him. Get a haircut, trash can. He appears to be quite young by that insulting. Probably 12 to 13 years old. Lots of feelings too. Sadalot is here. Reacted to it. So we decided to go to the next person. Mr. Cubic ended up getting to total level 17 and Flake Cake total level 19. We found our next player, sort of skin. Judging by the skin, she appears to be quite young. Why is everyone wearing a dinosaur skin today? However, it was the last player we were going to do. The player looked like a female, so we're going to call her she from now on. She is waiting AFK in the caravan, but suddenly she comes out. Will she kill Grooks like what other people have done? Or would she be passive, just standing still, like she's loading something or talking to a friend? Judging by her skin, she looked quite young, so I thought she might be a fan of Green. General Putte was pushing Song Si. That's rape. General Putte's name is pronounced General Putte in my language. General Putte is going to jail now. She was taking a long time with whatever she was doing. Maybe waiting for someone. But she had not killed any Grooks yet. General Putte suggested that she might be googling how to play this. How to play Wynncraft, I commented. Soon, Song Si 213 replied to our messages. After General Putte had also replied, saying IDK. She had not seen the chat messages yet, and not seen that we had a guild prefix. However, she said, I know F2 Toy is 87. I thought Toy was gone. I pretended to act along with being 10 years old and said, 87 years old? Wow, that's old. She had joined just a few minutes ago and was a mage. Her friend F2 Toy was also wearing a dinosaur skin, but had joined an hour ago. We have seen F2 Toy on the tab list earlier. Even if most players chose Warrior, it might have been a coincidence, or many of the players who choose Warrior quit later on. She's killing Grooks, so she's also an animal abuser. Look at poor Grook. Imagine how sad its mother will be when she comes home dead. The Grook, I mean. I decided to check F2 Toy's stats. F2 Toy was an assassin. We talked to the old man. Soon we were going to move on to the first puzzle of the quest. And because we were the same type of class with woodworking, we would both do farming. So we would go to the same field, but she would still go invisible. She's left clicking instead of right clicking the NPC, which means she can't get any dialogue up. I debated if I should tell her or not, but instead I said, why isn't he talking? She solved the first puzzle of farming my wheat, and so did I. Soon F2 Toy ran away, after successfully solving the first puzzle. She seems to be reading my dialogue a lot. I wonder if her friend will guide her. While running along, we met some other players too, but however, most people seem to be guiding. We also met a CT member by the name of Radon3. He was guiding 2 new friends. We thought it was a jackpot until we saw that it was an experienced player. In boredom, I messaged a player and pretended that we were friends. She had already cut down the tree. Maybe she knew how to play Wynncraft already, even if she just joined. Soon I went up and cut the tree. It's surprising that every player chooses the tree as the same way to get across the river. I went over the river. Here, she had already run up to the guard, perhaps knowing that she was supposed to talk to a guard. Maybe she was following a tutorial or something on YouTube. She was holding her wooden axe, maybe prepared to slay some stuff. She had not thrown anything out of her inventory yet, so that was a good thing. I decided to say something in the chat again. How old is F2 Toy? Which was a stupid question now that I thought about it. But I said 86 or 87, just to see if it was a friendly play or not, and if she would ignore me or not. However, she ended up ignoring me. A lot of the new players seem to be silent. Maybe they're young if they don't want to respond. She's just ignoring again. It's not a surprise really that she's ignoring me, because everyone else had done it. I lost her for a second. Maybe she had refined the wrong thing. Maybe in a tutorial you should only be able to refine string to one thing. Just like there's a 100% chance of refining and 100% chance of tier 1. She solved it, however. She soon went on to refine her wood. I was wondering if she was being guided because she had solved everything perfectly so far. She talked to Aladar perfectly, and soon went off to the crafting station, like she knew she was supposed to craft. She had not played on this account before, but might have played on another account. Or she was watching a YouTube video, or her friend told her all what to do. Or she had watched her friend play. I decided to ask her if she had played before, even though I knew she would ignore me. She had now crafted her first weapon, perhaps with a bit of trouble, but not too much. She was AFK, perhaps typing. She tried attacking some stuff. Maybe she thought this was a PvP server again. Maybe she wasn't even using the win pack. I was wondering if she wouldn't know what a portal was, but she probably would, because everyone else so far knew, and she had been doing everything perfectly so far. Or maybe these players are just smart. When I was a new player, I was new about a lot of stuff, but I didn't notice that until long afterwards. Don't you think my skin is cute? Suddenly she did some attack. Maybe she healed. Maybe she had already talked to the guard and was wondering what to do now. Suddenly she realized and entered the portal. She killed the zombie without any problem, and then she healed. She seems to be knowing the use of spells. Soon we had to kill the other mobs and then ran into the next room. Funksy got out of that room. We were now killing the undead miners, but not following the road. The road seems to be lightened up below the carpet. Soon we vanished again when the boulder would explode. We started shooting the arrow storm at the boulder. I was low in health and I was hoping that the hill would help me heal. We got out of that without problems and we now had to run from the zombies. I was now healed. Didn't help too much, but was still something. I checked back to see where they were. Perhaps I was going to get killed by the zombies. Or have an hour. However, that was what I wanted to do a bit. Suddenly I found a bug. It was all glitched. But I get out of it without any problem. I was wondering if she would stop by the fishing station to the right, but she didn't. She was murdering rocks again. It's everyone's favourite activity. Maybe Wynncraft is Grand Theft Auto 6. I jumped into a fire to inspire Song C and generalputte. Song C went instantly into the crack room. Song C would probably go meeting up with F2 Toy now. However, we decided that we wouldn't have to follow Song C after this too much, because we had already followed 2 of them. Song C wasn't skipping any dialogue and was reading it intensively. We met another player here in golden armor, but with a special hat. She was still checking a chest box. Maybe she was reading every single quest. 1.16 would have been better for her. generalputte starts pushing her around again. Luckily we're in Ragini and they have a prison here. Suddenly I find sound. Song C goes in a weird direction. She's sprinting but not jumping. She's checking her compass. Maybe she didn't care about her friend, F2 Toy. Song C was just standing still. But then she ran away. Maybe she was doing her first quest now. She had left Rangini too. She wasn't looking at the structures, so maybe she had played this before. She was too involved with the quest book to be new, to be odd. Suddenly, I accidentally teleported to Ragni. We were going to remove the classes later, so it was fine anyhow. Song C was just killing zombies. She had no spell attacks yet, so it was fine as she wasn't using any spells, unless she had to heal. I decided to mess up my skill points and throw out as many stuff as possible. She seems to have a full inventory already somehow. She goes up to the tournament chart. Every new player likes to check the interactive stuff. She seems to be going fishing, but that's not sure. I had now dropped my bow.
Checking back at Song C 13 days later, Song C has not been seen for 8 days, but has managed to get a total playtime of 22 hours. Total level is 55. Professions are total level 4.
I pretended to buy the crate to the wrong person. I would see if she would talk to us by this way. Maybe she was just really silent.